If you grew up inside of American evangelicalism, then you know what it feels like to carry a story about yourself that you didn't write, a story where you're the sinner, God is the rescuer, and your entire worth depends on whether you transform into someone holy enough, obedient enough, surrendered enough to fulfill God's plan for your life. And if you've stepped out of that story, especially later in life, you know the strange mixture of grief, relief, and disorientation that follows. You gave decades to a calling that no longer fits. You tried to become someone you never quite became. And now you're standing here wondering, if I'm not the hero of God's mission anymore, what story am I living now? I wrote something about that moment, about what happens when the story collapses, and something quieter, more human, and more honest begins to take its place. It's called My Hero's Journey Has Come to an End. I grew up with a story about myself that settled deep into my bones. I was told that I was a sinner, fundamentally broken, unworthy on my own, and that the only hope for someone like me was transformation. Not healthy development, not growth and maturity. I must put off the old man and put on the new man. I must be born again. I must be hot or cold. If I am lukewarm, Jesus will spew me out of his mouth in disgust. A total metamorphosis of whatever I was when I was born into this world. For a long time, I believed that. And believing it shaped the way I walked through life. Every choice, every prayer, every attempt at calling came from the same place. I needed to become someone God could use, someone better than the person I actually was. I didn't just try to improve my life, I tried to smother it. I thought holiness meant distance from my own humanity. I thought sacrifice was proof that I was taking God seriously. And there were moments when I was willing to burn down entire parts of my life in the hope that something new and better would rise from the ashes. The truth is, that hurt people. Not because I wanted to cause harm, but because when your life is a quest, everything becomes instrumental, including the people who love you. And whenever the quest collapsed, and quests eventually do, I simply found a new one, a new calling, a new direction, a new identity to chase. Some of these redirections were good, but the engine underneath, the ultimatum to transform, the compulsion to become some idealized version of myself, this engine underneath never stopped running. Then, almost by accident, I found a different kind of faith community. It was quiet, unhurried, more listening than performing, more presence than victory. The Quaker world didn't demand that I become a hero. It didn't ask for grand acts of obedience. It simply offered silence, the kind of silence that lets your soul unclench for the first time in decades. And now, at 60, the story that I lived inside of for most of my life has finally run out of road. Time has a way of telling the truth gently, but clearly. And the truth is, I am no longer becoming someone else. I am settling into who I have been all along. There's a sadness in that, a warm, rich sadness. The kind of sadness that comes from decades spent striving to be worthy of love, that was already mine to be had if I could only see it. But there's something else. A quiet gratitude for the ordinary things I once overlooked. My wife's laugh from the kitchen, my kids running down the hallway, our little home on a cold morning. The way light lands on imperfect things and makes them beautiful anyway. For so long, I thought my family was an obstacle to my hero's quest. Now I see the obstacle was the quest. These people, these ordinary moments, they were the sacred things all along. And here's the part that still surprises me. The hero's journey didn't make me a hero. It made me human. A man who can finally breathe without trying to earn every breath. The spiritual pressure to transform has eased. The self-improvement project is shutting down. Not because I've given up, but because something natural and organic is emerging. And the world that becomes visible when I slow down, when I listen, is quieter, humbler, and real. It feels less like surrendering to God and more like awakening to what's been true the whole time. Like a small lantern inside of me has been lit. Not enough to illuminate the distant future, just enough to see what's here. The faces I love, the hours I still have, the imperfect, precious life that never needed to be heroic to be meaningful. I don't need glory. I think glory is just good public relations. If there is any glory in this world, it's hearing my kids laugh as they sled down a hill after the season's first snow. A moment so ordinary and so alive, I feel everything that matters manifesting in that simple moment. My hero's journey has come to an end. My quest has been replaced by presence, and life, imperfect, human, honest, and finally mine.
Believing truth would make me grand. I traded everything for answer. Left the map and broke the land. Every creed I burned behind me. Every structure failed the test. I thought the quest would make me holy, but it only